Hi, I'm going to give some examples from my books. I'm Roxanne. I have just finished publishing my fourth book since last year, and basically my books are based on my animals that I have, or as in this case, this was a family member, from the different years of raising sheep and the different adventures. You know, you have some things that just kind of stick in your mind. So I started taking pictures, and then all of a sudden I would think of, you know, a story that kind of went with this picture. So in this case, these are all based on actual information. All these are my photographs. The poems in here are from the point of view of the sheep. And so the subtitle is, "This is the Sheep of Celtic Herd, What Are You Thinking?" And I have the thinker on the back. Sheep have a habit, they always stay in straight lines, and there is a leader, there's an alpha ewe, and they follow the leader. They will not get up and move until one of them, or the leader, sometimes you'll see a couple lines if one just realizes it, but I'm going to read an excerpt just from the first book, and it's called Sheep Lines. And you can see this was during a snowstorm. A lot of these in this book are from the bad weather that we've had. The lines are getting bigger. The sheep keep moving along. More ruminants are joining, their fleeces nice and warm. The weather is cantankerous. It is snowing very hard. The wind is blowing loudly. The sheep act like they're starved. They see me coming with the bucket. Their pace picks up a bunch. If I don't get there quickly, I might become their lunch. It's not that I don't feed them. I certainly do each day. It's just that patience is not their virtue, so I quickly throw more hay. This only stops a few of them, a pause, a chew, some time. The line soon breaks, the race begins. They run like it's a crime. So you'll notice that I have some from that I present, and then a lot of them are from the sheep's point of view. And I'm just going to just show one little picture in the back, because this one it's a short one, but I had this picture of this lamb looking at the mother, and it's actually a ram lamb, and these are Shetlands, and they always have these pretty patterns, and they're usually dark colored when they're born, but he's just like he's idolizing his mom. And this just came to me, so I just called it Ma. They sound almost like goats, but it's more of a ma instead of a ba. Ma, I adore you. You are amazing. I stare at you so long, my eyes are glazing. When I am hungry, you are always there. How can I help but sit and stare? And just the expression on its face, you know, it just kind of, that's basically how I got a lot of the ideas. And this one called Seeing Double, because basically a lot of these sheep have twins. Then I kind of branched out, so this is a different type of story. And then I started with Sheila the Sheep Adventures. And Sheila the Sheep is my alpha ewe. My sister Sheila was where I got the name, and she is the illustrator. And she's even pictured in here. And it was funny because I was just talking to some people in my band, and they just realized they had gotten the books, and they went, "Wait a minute, you named the sheep after your sister?" And I said, "I sure did," because they had similar hairdos and coloring and everything, you know, the dark curly hair, and they thought that was pretty funny. But again, these are based on actual facts. There's a lot of humor in it. This tells a lot of stuff about bagpipes and drums, and there's some very creative pictures by my sister, especially when she has the three types of drums the sheep are playing. You have the snare, the bass, and the tenor drummer. So I love that picture. That's one of my favorites. And then if you wanted to find out some facts, you have a lot of information about difference in the bagpipes. And then this also, based on experience, sheep have to be sheared. And why not have them go to the spa and get the whole beauty package? Their nails done. Of course, you have to say hoofs. So you can't have pedicures, they're hoofacures in this book. So they get their hair done, they get their different hairstyles, and they're looking at many different magazines. Just you'll see the turban, and Sheila's on the phone calling the Wool-Off Spa Company to come out and set up the packages for her herd, what each one wants. The Scottish blackface can even get their horns waxed if they like. A few people actually sat and read this book and I have to say, and this made me feel good, they didn't put it down. They said they laughed the entire time. They felt that this was the funniest one out of the whole bunch. And as a retired teacher who does occasional subbing, I also have a few illustrations from some students in Baltimore County Public Schools, and I got permission from their principal, and she has a copy. She was just being transferred this year. And I asked one day while I was subbing, and I had all this extra time, and I'm thinking, if you had sheep go to the beauty parlor, what would you draw? What would you have them do? And it was really funny because my sister Sheila did not see what they drew. She didn't see her drawings, and they had some similarities. Sitting in the chairs, reading magazines. Sheila has better stalls and gardens. You'll see the sheep boutique. You'll see a lot of fun articles in here, and all the photographs are actually my photographs on here. And here's three of them sitting under the hair dryers, one reading the magazine. And I also thought, well, they have to get their shearing done, and they have to go to, why not make it a spa day? So they also have a sheeper-size class. They have a Pilates instructor who comes and works out with them. Of course, there's always those that do not feel like they need exercise, that they are just nice the way they are. And so you'll find a lot of humor in there. And like I said, there's actually a couple of reviews on Amazon right now, so far everybody seems to like it. The last book I did was a favor for a family member who had a bulldog. And if you're a bulldog fan, or if you've ever had one, you would probably enjoy it. This bulldog was a character. He was the ultimate shoe thief. I wrote a poem about him in the story about what, he actually snuck in rooms and took the shoes out of shelves and would not give up without a treat to get them back. And Lenny was one of these dogs who used to swim in the beach. And bulldogs apparently are not supposed to swim. So I had a lot of information about him to begin with, and we kind of put it together with a collection of his stories. So he had a lot of fans, and this was the illustration that his sister did. But then I am going back. This was kind of, and I have a little excerpt in here why I wrote about a dog instead of a sheep, and that's in the story too. And the next book that will be coming out in time for the York Fair, I hope, is Sheila the Sheep Goes to the York Fair. So this line is actually going to be a series of Sheila the Sheep adventures.